Tessa and I'm a short course trainer at the National Institute of Circus Arts. So some of the classes that I usually teach are aerial preparation and aerial hoop. Today we're going to be focusing on recovery. So before we start, let's make sure that we've got a cleared area of 3 meters by approximately 3 meters. So you're not going to hit anything, so not too close to the telly or the windows. You'll need a mat, a water bottle, preferably a foam roller, something like this, and a ball if you've got one. So I've got this little lacrosse ball here. Don't stress if you don't have it. First, we're going to start with a brief warm-up and then get on to some recovery. Let's get started. Okay, so firstly we're just going to start with a very quick warm-up just to get everything a bit looser before we start. We don't have to get sweaty or anything like that, but let's start with our head. So some head rolls. Just get the joints moving a little bit. And the other way. You might find that one bit's a bit more crunchy or a little bit more tender, so I like to roll those bits out a bit more. So this area is a bit more crunchy, so I'm just going to not grind away at it, but lubricate it a bit. You're lubricating the joints and just getting all the crunches and crackles out of it. And let's do your shoulders. Rolling out your shoulders. Again, this might be a bit crunchy, depending on how tight you are in here. And the other way. Nice, okay, and now our spine. So hands down towards the ground. So we're just starting, I'm starting at the top, working my way down, just for movement and kind of mobilizing your joints a bit, so getting the joints moving, greasing them up. That's all part of recovery. We're trying to get some blood going through all the joints. And straight out in front of you. And up towards the sky. Nice one. Okay, go to hips and circles. Big hip circles. And the other way. Okay, and now hips. Nice big circles. So after this, so we're moving our joints around a bit, then we're going to move on to using the ball or the foam roller depending on what region we're in. And I can just show you some of the exercises I like doing. But basically we're just looking at trying to increase our movement in the body, try and get the blood flowing through there, releasing some of those tight muscles that are holding us nice and bound. Yeah, because this can help us try and get our body moving more freely again, make us feel less pain, and also decrease some of our potential to have injuries, as well as just increasing your performance when you do actually exercise. Okay, and now knees. Yeah. When we do this, then you get the fluid going into all those different joints, which is what we want. And the other way. And the other side. Pointing your toes because, you know, we're circus performers. Oh, and the other way. Oh, I get so many cracks in my ankles when I do this. Okay, and now our ankles. Rolling your ankles around. And the other way. So a lot of us don't do nearly as much recovery as we should, myself included, especially before or after exercise, because you know you do the exercise and then you feel like you're done. So it's really important to try, like this is just as important as doing a big workout session. So now that we've done that, we're going to move on to these guys. So if you don't have one or the other, just use like the foam roller instead of the ball instead of the foam roller whenever I'm doing certain things, but I'll just show you a couple of things that I like doing. Firstly, this ball. So we have got muscles at the base of our skull, at the top of our neck. Okay, so if you push in there, sometimes for people it can make you feel like that it can give you headaches. So if you push on that spot, it might be a particularly sore muscle. So that probably needs rolling out on one of these. So what I like to do is you lie down, put the ball on here, and you can kind of pop it on the top of your neck at the base of your skull. Make sure it doesn't run away. You might have to hold it in place, and you can kind of roll your head around on it. You don't want to go too hard because, well, you don't need to. It's better to go do this more frequently and less intense. But it is it's quite tender on a lot of people because this is a quite common stress spot. Yeah. And it's quite common cause for if people do get headaches. This can be a spot, it's because the muscles are tight here. So you can also use heat packs and stuff on this area of your head and neck as well, and that can help out. But see, I'm just kind of like rotating my head left and right over the top. So I put the ball on the right side of my neck to start off with, and I rotated. Now I'm putting it on the left side of my neck, and I'm rotating. I've actually got it cupped in my hand, and then put that underneath so it doesn't roll away because it slips on my hair. But we'll just do that for a little bit. If you have a particularly tight spot, just hold it on there. Man, that's tight. You can also bring it further down. So now I've got it on this part of my shoulders. So my neck and shoulders down here. You can do this up against a wall and kind of like lean up against and have a roll around with the ball against the wall, and then you roll around. But I can't do that with the camera, so I'm going to be doing it on the ground. So up to you whether you decide to do it against the wall or whether you want to do it on the ground with me. Put the ball there. Go onto any sore spot on your shoulder, and you can hold it, and you kind of, you can do all around your scapula, so your shoulder blade. And kind of just, your arm kind of just moves around until you get a good spot. See, for mine, it's further down by my shoulder blades, on the inside of my shoulder blades, but for you, it might be higher up. But just have a wiggle around, and you just hold it wherever it's tight. And you'll probably notice spots that you didn't even realise were tight. Like right now, and you can get crazy referrals. So like, even though I'm pushing there, I'm feeling it all the way out here. That's normal. You just don't want to do it if you start getting like pins and needles or numbness and tingling, because that probably means you're on a nerve. Okay, I'm going to move to my other side. Yeah. One side's probably worse than the other. So I'm right on my shoulder blades now. It's hard, I can't really show you. But yeah, just have a feel around on your upper back where it's tight, and you might need to press it there for a little bit and just hold. That's a tender spot. Hopefully you found one as well. You can also do things like if you find a spot and then you can move your arm up and down to roll over that muscle. That's crazy. You can move it in all different directions and see, generally, where is most sore is the most efficient. I'm so glad you can capture these facial expressions on. Whoa. Okay, so that's what you can do with that bit. So if you get any sort of like neck, shoulder pain, that's all great to do. You can also do this up against the wall on your pecs. I mean, I guess you could do it on the ground. Oh no, you can do it on the ground. I mean, boobs slightly get in the way for girls. But, yeah, so if you face them, so often, these muscles get really tight on most people, I would say. So, like the front of your chest, so you've got your clavicles here, okay? So you can feel your clavicle. Then if you just drop down low, kind of in level with your armpit, and push in there, that's quite a tender spot. That's where your pec muscles are, so any muscle, things that make you do this. And it can also draw your shoulders forward. So if you sit like this, you're like one of these people, especially if you sit at a desk, these will be on pulling the whole time. So it's good to release those arms. So I do it against the wall, so face there, and I kind of like shimmy around. It looks great. But today, I'll do it on the ground. Stay down here. Oh, find a sore spot. So for girls, you obviously want to be on the muscle. So this bit here, you don't want to be on actual boob because that's a different sort of pain. We don't need that. You don't need to massage out all your lymph nodes and stuff, and your mammary glands and things. You want to be on the actual muscle. So just that spot just here. And yeah, again, it would depend on like how big your boobs are. That's how you get, and then you can move your arm up and down like this. For a really fun time. Oh. Okay, I'm going to do it 2 more times and then swap sides. Ooh. Okay, time to swap over. I'll turn this way so you get to see my face the whole time. And all the expressions it makes. Oh, jeez. That's tender. Okay, and then up and down. So there are no real rules with the ball, just that you want to find muscle, not bone. You can't really massage out bone. It will just hurt and not change. You kind of want to avoid your ligaments and your tendons as well. They don't really like to be prodded. So any muscly spots, if you find a tight spot, pop it on and hold it. Or you can move your muscles around it, like what we're doing here, and it's like a self-massage. 1 more. Oh, okay. That's enough of that. Next, I'm going to roll out our spine. So this is where you get your foam roller. Okay. And we're going to roll all the way up your back. Most of you will have done this before. All the way up to the top. And then all the way down. If you're lucky, you get a few cracks. Oh, try not to get your clothes tangled. Which is easier said than done. If you find a particularly tight spot, you can hold it there. But for this one, I kind of just like to move up and down on it. And I really like to open up my chest, so I'm really letting my hands drop down to the ground, opening up. Oh. And you can really, like if I hold it here, then it will open up my chest, bum down to the ground. That's the stuff. Okay, so this one is also really good. So, if you've got a shorter one, might be more comfortable with the towel. Oh, I've got one just here, which I've just kind of wrapped up. You don't have to, I'll show you how to do it with both, but this is to open up your chest again. So, the front of your chest. So you lie down along it, like this. This way I can have my head on. And then you open up your chest like that. So for this one, if you've got a really tight chest, the towel might be enough. So for me, I don't get a huge amount of stretch at the front so much. You want to have your elbows at shoulder height. So you can, I'm going to make mine a deluxe one, so I'm going to have my towel here. I understand you might not have a towel there. Sorry, this is just impromptu. So this one, if you need a bit more of a stretch, you lie on it like this. See, where's my pillow now? Now I get to rest my head a bit. But you can do it with that one. And then open up your chest and see how I'm further away from the ground now, so I can let my elbows drop, and it opens up my chest here. And you sit there, and you take a deep breath in, and you breathe out. And as you breathe out, you try and drop your shoulders down, your elbows down to the ground. And you should just get a stretch all down here. Let's do 3 more deep breaths. One more. Hopefully your shoulders have dropped down a bit more. After that, mine are feeling quite open. I would usually hold that for longer, but I've got more stuff to show you. Next one, the ball on our bum. One of the most beneficial things I think we can do, because our bottoms get quite tight. And as you might have heard me speak about earlier in other, episodes, in other classes, not a massive fan of stretching out the bum. I much prefer using a ball, because we don't want to really lengthen those muscles. I'm actually just going to use this as a pillow, because this is quite nice. Okay, stick it under your bottom, and you literally just find the tight spots. I start further in towards my coccyx, so my tailbone, finding your tight spots there, go up and down, and then I go more laterally, so out towards the sides. You just don't want to be on bone. You're not going to be doing much if you're on bone. It just hurts. So make sure you got a really meaty spot. And just kind of have a wiggle and then hold it if there's a particularly tight spot. So I always try and incorporate my breathing while I'm doing this, because it helps me relax. And also I think we just hold a lot of tension in our bodies a lot of the time, and we forget to relax a bit. So as you breathe out, you want to try and relax. May as well do 2 things at once, right? So I'm going to move over a bit more to the side. Yep, there's a tight spot. And mine's so tight it goes all the way down the front of my leg. So it depends how tight your muscles are and what spots you find. But yeah, you do get weird referrals to other places. That's all normal. I am loving this pillow. I should do this more often. This is like deluxe rolling out. It almost makes the pain feel less. I would recommend if you've got a pillow nearby or something. It's lovely. Deluxe treatment. Okay, and then going on to your other side. I'm just doing this side because I've got dodgy hip on this side, so I'm going to spend all of my time on this side. But you swap over. And just finding where the tight spots are and holding it on there for a few seconds until it starts to decrease how much pain you're feeling. You can also move your knee, like open and close your leg if you wanted to roll over that muscle, like your self-massage, but that's insane. Oh, okay. Next one, foam roller. And we're doing this on our quads, so the front of our leg muscles. So, depending on how sore your quads are, you can either do 2 at a time, or if you're feeling brave, you can do 1 at a time. I'm just going to do 2 at a time. So keep your feet together and you roll up and down. And you kind of work out where it feels tighter. If there's a certain spot that feels tight, you just hold it there for a bit. Oh no, now my deluxe cushion's in the way. There we go. Then you can also roll over more on one side. That's quite tend to move, but often it's quite tight spot on people. You just kind of roll up and down. If you want, you can hold a sore spot for a little bit. roll up and down. So I guess I am mostly on one leg now. And the other side. Rolling up and down. Then I've got 2 more things to show you. Oh. Okay, next. Depending on how tight or sore your calves are, you can either do this with a foam roller. I like doing it with a ball because it's a bit more intense. You pop it underneath your calf and then you roll around like that. So I've just started getting into running again, so I'm 3 weeks in. So my muscles are very fatigued and tight now because they're trying to adapt and get stronger. So this is very tender, but good to do. And hopefully will help prevent me from getting injured from the muscles being too tight. So if muscles are super tight, it can cause a condition called a tendinopathy, or tendinitis. Yeah, it just makes it easier to tear things and stuff like that if you don't do a proper warm-up. Oh, we're about to get a dog in the scene. Patchy. Hey, this is Patches. Hello. We're doing a cool down. Yeah, we're doing recovery. Do you need recovery? Patches loves some massage on the back of his legs. Yeah, you could do with a little ball, couldn't you? Rolling out in the backs of your legs. Getting a bit stronger. Loosening up those muscles. Yes, that's what we're doing. Okay, and going to the other side. Make sure you try and go to the outsides of your calves as well. Test out the outsides and insides of your calves because depending on how you run or walk or use your muscles, one might be tighter than the other. Okay, so the outside of my legs are quite tight at the moment. More. He wants more massage as well. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is our feet. So people often forget the feet, but we're on them all the time, and they're important to look after. So you just pop your foot on and roll out, and you really want to get the meaty part of your foot. So you really want to get like the inside of your foot here, not really the bones. So the outside of your foot and the bony bits here. You want to go there where your muscles are. And it's actually plantar fascia that we're massaging out. So it might not necessarily lengthen anything, but it really gets everything moving around. And releasing the plantar fascia on your feet helps release all the fascia along the back side of you, so it can also help increase your flexibility, like reaching forward, touching your toes sort of thing. And your other side. So this one's just good to do whenever you think of it. Give your feet some loving. They're often neglected. So this one's a good one to do even like before you go for a run or before you exercise and going to use your feet. Just wakens everything up and gets the blood flowing into it. So yeah, they are some of my recovery things that I do when I'm having a recovery day. There are so many more exercises that you can do. If there's certain areas that you really need to focus on, then you can just target that one spot. You don't have to do a full body one. Yeah, but it's really worth doing. I would say if you exercise a few times a week, you definitely want to add one recovery session in per week. Even if it's a bit after each recovery session, each exercise, or you do it right, like you spend one session just doing recovery. It won't go amiss. Your body will love you for it. Okay, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.